All right. So current events. Next week, today I'll assign someone, since it's a small class, we'll just do one student per week. All right. So for current events, I think it's important to talk about this. And hey, if it lasts the whole class, huh? Yeah, I'm going over some something right now. So where were you before? Athletic office. Ah, awesome. Okay. But anyway, with current events, I think it's important to talk about this, especially with the world today and sociology, how he can maybe fit this to his global perspective, what we talked about yesterday. And with current events, I'm going to assign someone today, obviously, and then Friday, I'd like you to present it in class. So, does everybody know how to access that Google form? I know I went over on Monday, but just to be clear, let me go to the class. On the Canvas page, it's on my home page. You scroll down to current events, you click on the link, and you can see the Google form right here. So you click that Google form, and there's a step-by-step process of what you need to do to complete that current event article, okay? Whatever you want to use. So try to have something pertaining to, obviously, the United States. If you want to have a world event, that's fine too. If there's a sociology research, if there's anything research-based that you want to introduce or talk about in class, that'd be great too. All right, so again, try to refrain from entertainment, try to refrain from sports, right? Unless there's something like a political event talking about, you can bring that up. So try to be mindful of everybody in the class. We don't want to start a fight here. So make sure that we're not trying to target anybody with our current event. Okay. If I see it, there's going to be some issues, right? There's going to be some issues. You'll lose points. Might have to refer you to the principal. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay. So I'll go over one today so you know what I'm talking about. So does everybody know what's going on in Afghanistan? So those you had me before, I already talked about. Leah, what's going on?
Well, the Taliban came back.
Okay.
Because the president pulled the troops out, more people out, and then people are stuck there.
All right. Yeah. Good job. So with the evacuation of Afghanistan, when does this start though? When did this start? I guess, our involvement in the Middle East. Yeah. Okay. So some people might argue, with Desert Storm back in the 1990s, okay, we had some sort of involvement in the Middle East. Okay. But yeah, 9/11, the terrorist attacks on 9/11 with the Twin Towers, we know, and the Pentagon being attacked. And we all know the plane that crashed in Western Pennsylvania. All right. So with that being said, this is a hot topic of debate. We're trying to evacuate troops. Biden last month said we want to try to evacuate U.S. troops out of Afghanistan because, hey, it's been 20 years, right? It's been a 20-year war conflict. Right? But does anybody know when the last U.S. military death was in Afghanistan? Roy, I think I talked about second period, You forget? That's all right. February 2020, right? So that's been, right, close to a year now. So it's been pretty long since there's been a death, and we can all maybe relate. There's deaths all around the country. Again, I'm not saying that this is like comparing things, but in cities, there's murders all the time. There's deaths. Okay, so when it comes to Afghanistan, people argue it's like, oh well, maybe it's a little bit safer than what we're thinking, right? When we're thinking about this war in the Middle East, maybe it's not too bad. And we can fit that into the global perspective, right? What we just talked about yesterday in class. Right? But anyway, we don't want to have any deaths, right? We don't want to have any of those issues. But when it comes to safety, maybe it wasn't too bad. And people argue maybe we can have a skeleton force there, a skeleton crew in Afghanistan. Does anybody know what that means when they reference that? It's in the news a lot. I just want to make sure everybody knows. Does anybody know what that means? No? So, Roy, go ahead. Yeah, like a small amount of troops to make sure that there's control there, to make sure that we can push off some of these terrorist groups from forming and becoming too overwhelming. And with this skeleton crew, obviously, United States, it's the strongest military power in the world, and the world's ever seen. So we could use the Air Force, we could use drone technology to keep these terrorist groups at bay and from attacking and seeing something like this, what we saw yesterday with military deaths. So many people are arguing, you know what? Maybe we can keep skeleton crew there. Maybe we can keep some sort of influence in the Middle East. Um, we have troops all around the world in almost 100 different countries. So why can't we just have troops in Afghanistan if the death tolls are really not that high? I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to make you guys pick sides, or I'm not trying to bring politics into it, but it's something to think about, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. So what happened yesterday? Does anybody know? What happened? Chris? The Pentagon? What about it?
Like, oh, wait, something was.
Yeah, what happened yesterday though in Afghanistan? Early morning yesterday. So the briefing that Biden addressed the nation. Okay, go ahead.
ISIS K bomb. Service.
Yeah, servicemen, right? Yeah, good job. So ISIS-K, it's just a branch of ISIS, the terrorist organization. It's not like Special K or anything serial, but ISIS-K, it's a branch of this terrorist organization. And they had a bombing run on Kabul airport, and it killed 13 U.S. servicemen. So very sad event what happened yesterday. And around 90 Afghan military forces that helped aid us in Afghanistan for 20 years. So again, a very sad event, a terrible event what happened. And with that being said, there's obviously needs to be something done. So what's the deadline? What's the deadline that Biden put out a month ago where we want to get all of our troops evacuated?
August 31st.
August 31st. Yeah. So Tuesday of next week, right? So next Tuesday. Can we do it? I don't know. We'll see. Have we already lifted out a lot of soldiers and a lot of people, citizens, and Afghan military forces that helped aid us? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. So we'll see how that unfolds in the near future. But anyway, sad event. What happened yesterday? Biden spoke yesterday too. He talked about how if we need to extend that deadline, we will. We will. And we'll use whatever force possible to do so we can evacuate these citizens, these troops, and Afghan military forces. But what's the problem? Why can't we just go over and lift them up out of there? What's the issue? Obviously, with the bombing, that's terrible. Who's controlling this air base in Kabul, Afghanistan? Roy, go ahead.
The ISIS K surrounded the airport.
Yeah, the Taliban, ISIS-K. Yeah, they're surrounding the airport, and I'm sure you guys flown before, right? Philadelphia International Airport. It's pretty big, isn't it? There's multiple runways. Kabul is just one. That's it. So it's pretty easy for these forces, this terrorist group, to surround the airport and prevent anybody from leaving, right? And anybody from entering onto the planes. In many cases, they welded the doors shut, the gates shut, preventing anybody from leaving, evacuating. It's a really sad story. So when you think about it, who's in control of pretty much Afghanistan, and specifically that airport? This terrorist organization, right? And what's been America's policy forever with dealing with terrorist organizations? Does anybody know? Do we deal with them? Do we talk with them? Do we discuss anything with them? Brianna? No. But in this certain scenario, in this certain case, to try to evacuate these troops, who knows? We might have to, right? And many people argue, oh, there should have been a better plan. Many people say, you know what? We should have done a little bit better job evacuating these troops. Again, that's a kind of foresight right now, hindsight bias. Maybe there could have been. I don't know. All right. So with that being said, again, terrible event. What happened yesterday with the 13 servicemen that died, and we still don't know how many U.S. troops and citizens that need to be evacuated. No one knows, really. No one does, and we'll see how that unfolds in the next couple days, right? So stay current, right? Read the news. I'm sure you see it on social media all the time. So check that out. Okay, I went on a big spiel there. I apologize. That's kind of what I do, I guess. But you see what I'm getting at with current events for Friday. Okay, if this can open a discussion, that'd be awesome. If we can talk about it, the whole class, hey, so be it. So be it. I think it's important that we talk about these things, and especially with sociology, we can relate it. Okay, and just what we talked about yesterday with the sociological perspective, the global perspective, how we can relate these times, right, and these events unfolding to what we deal on a daily basis in the United States. All right. Is there any questions? Okay, cool. So I usually try to snake it around the room, but Tegan, since you start, you sit in the back of the room for American history in sixth period. I want to make sure that we can knock it out with, knock you out in both classes all at once. So that overall will help you out. So you don't have to get targeted twice for current events, week by week. So how about we just start with you and then we'll move forward, okay? So sixth period, I'm just gonna put your name down now, and someone else in the class will be picked for it. Sociology. I spell your name right?
It's TEA.
TEA? Sorry about that. Yeah, if you see I spelled your name wrong, I apologize. Just tell me, I'll fix it. Okay. Bell ringer for today. Bell ringer for today. Here we go. And then we'll get to the presentations.
We're gonna finish some of them down.
We might. I'm hoping to get through all of them, but if not, yeah, we'll finish them up on Monday. Okay, so describe the global perspective. Give an example of the global perspective. So there's many different examples that you can give. I kind of gave one already with my current event with Afghanistan going on in the world. So give an example, explain it, and I'll come around the room for those of you here, check them. For those of you at home, you got to submit them to the assignment. But everybody in here, I'll just come around and check them, and I'll give you a grade for them right away. So that grade book's updated, ready to roll for the weekend. Global perspective. Everybody going to the game tonight? Yeah. Lee, you going?
Yeah.
Tegan, you going?
Yeah.
All right. Roy? Nice.
The first one I go to, I'm not in the day.
Oh, yeah? What, did you quit?
I wanted to try something new this
Okay.
year.
So you just didn't go out, right? All right. So you're playing volleyball? Nice. How's that going?
It's fun.
Yeah?
I sprained my ankle twice though.
Mm,
Got those bad joints.
that ain't fun. High ankle sprains are the worst. I got those a couple times in football. Oh, terrible.
I just need to get a place.
Yeah.
Get shocked after.
Shock doctor.
I sprained my ankle twice.
Cross country runner over here too.
Oh yeah, well, I don't really do that.
No.
I can't really like trip on a roof. Like, or a rock
Tripping on
and
a roof?
slide down.
Yeah, that's true. Nice.
The only thing that I've seen is Brendan Miller.
Yeah.
He was going downhill. Like they say, the dangerous runners, the best runners. lean
State
forward,
champ, right?
Like, yeah, they
Yeah.
lean forward when they run downhill, catch the most speed, and like these trails are pretty loopy. And the one time he has like this record at Sussex course, and he grabbed a tree and like grabbed
Swung
himself
around it, yeah.
so he wouldn't have to stop to slow down. Like,
Wow.
that was crazy.
Jeez. That's pretty cool.
He's-
So he pretty much Tokyo drifted around that corner.
he
Yeah.
just, like grabbed it. And just,
What a great movie, right, Chris? Wow.
Not viewing it.
I don't know.
Okay.
It might have been. I don't know. I always liked that one. Now, Fast and Furious movies are at like 20.
I think they're gonna get
Huh.
on for more.
It's unbelievable. They're going
No, they're at 9 now.
they're going to space. It's like, let's just
Maybe
keep
do
it to the
one.
roads, right? Let's just keep it to the roads. Give you another minute or two to finish up. Then we'll go over it. We'll talk about it. We'll start our presentations. We got to get to those. If we get through all of them, awesome. If not, we'll just finish them up on Monday. And we'll talk about the sociological imagination. Imagination, right? SpongeBob. You guys ever watch that? Yeah. Imagination Land. South Park. Yeah. The keyboard isn't working. Uh-oh. That ain't good. Did you drop it a couple times, Tegan?
No, I didn't.
You punted it.
No,
Okay, okay.
I dropped mine like 3 times so far.
That is annoying though. You just get it, it doesn't work. All right, so what is the global perspective? What does that mean? Global perspective. Madden, what do you have?
This is a view on an issue that you didn't know.
Okay, all right. So maybe how we can relate and correlate different issues, conflicts, maybe with going through your individual life or community, or even the country, and comparing it to other areas around the world. Right? So you're almost fitting yourself into other people's shoes in a way, and you're trying to understand how maybe one issue or one certain aspect affects the rest of the world. Does that make sense? Yeah. So yesterday I gave an example. Does anybody remember that example I gave? Leah?
Wasn't it with like the birth rate?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I gave that one too. I showed that on the presentation. Good. Yeah. So with they try to correlate and see the relationship between wealthy countries, countries that are a little bit more developed, right? And compared birth rates to other countries that are maybe underdeveloped, that don't have the type of innovations or way of life that we have in the United States or other areas around the world that are developed. So European countries, talk about Russia, right? China, a lot of that because they have a ban on how many children you can have because of the population and what it is in China. Well, what other example did I give? Taylor, you don't remember. You weren't here. Did you watch the video? Did you? It's on the page. I posted the video. It's on YouTube as well. Yeah, if you're never here for some reason, I'm recording all the videos, putting them on YouTube, and I also have them on my Canvas page. I'll show you that soon. But what example I give? Standard of living, right? Because you guys know what I mean by standard of living. So with the United States, with how we can be able to afford a car, obviously food to put on our table, cell phone, television, you name it. You know, does every country around the world have that luxury? Do they have that standard of living? No. There's some countries that might be relatable, right? So some European countries, maybe some Asian countries like Japan. But for the most part, when you try to compare our standard of living compared to any other country, it might be a little bit different, vastly different, especially with what we have in our lives. Okay, bless you. How we can afford things. You could even talk about safety, right? Chris, what do you got? What example do you give?
Oh, just put that example down.
Standard of living.
I'd have to-
Okay, all right. All right, so we kind of went through that already. Sarah? Oh my gosh, all right, okay. That's an easy one, isn't it? Yeah, that's why I picked it. All right, Madden?
A view on the climate change.
Oh, okay. Yeah, view on climate change. That's a great one. Good job. So this definitely varies amongst different countries around the world. Okay. You can even almost throw in a outlier with these countries that might not have industrialization, might not have these factories or businesses that are emitting these types of emissions. So like daily cars, like if you go to some countries in Africa, they don't drive cars around, some of them. Some of them don't have these factories or businesses emitting toxins into the air. Okay. So China definitely has a different viewpoint of it, but they are more accepting as of late of renewable resources and how they can try to power different mechanisms with solar, wind power, and even water. Okay, so how they're using turbines in the water to actually maneuver and power and generate power. Good. Tegan, what do you have? Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You need to go to. I don't know.
Or take it out of the case. No, but like my app. Yes, I just.
That is weird.
And I like
Hmm.
went off the Wi-Fi. Like I can't even search.
Jeez, you go to Mr. Rep. All right. Yeah, go check it out. That's a problem. You'll need your iPad for sure. So go check that out. We'll catch you up then on these presentations. All right, Leah?
I just put that an example of global perspective currently will be different people's views of crisis happening over in Afghanistan.
Yeah, good job. So some countries might see this as a hooray, right? A good thing, which obviously in the United States this is terrible. This is something that should not be repeated, should not happen ever again, especially with the deaths that we saw. But our rivals, maybe like Russia, maybe like China, they might be seeing this and licking their chops. Maybe they can get involved in the Middle East, kind of replace our role there, maybe extract resources, who knows? Establish allies. Okay, good. That's a great example. Good job. Roy?
I have the industrial views like with US and Japan.
Yeah. So innovations, right, with technology, okay, how that compares around the world. Good. Taylor? Okay, so drug use, right? How that compares and correlates with other countries around the world, right? So some countries might not have the ability to have access to these. Maybe there's no law, certain laws on them. Okay. Yeah, good job. All right, Brianna. Okay, cultural diversity, right? Cultural diversity and how that is accepted in some countries and other countries really don't focus on that at all. All right, good. Autumn? Climate change. Yeah, good. That's a good one too. Awesome job. Awesome job. Okay, so we're going to get to these presentations. Not sure if we're going to get through all of them. Most likely not. For those of you at home, huh?
Yeah, you can submit it.
You can't?
You can, I just did. It depends if you have your Google connected. Yeah, but I don't know how to do that. I thought I had it.
To get your Google
The actual website. Yeah, Mr. B.
Huh. For those of you at home, just attach the presentation. Okay, that's it for today. Make sure you turn in your bell ringers too for that assignment. I'll have that graded for you guys, hopefully by tonight. We'll see if the latest Monday. So that's all I got. Make sure you just post those presentations out. All right. See you guys.
Have a
Take
good
care.
day.
Hey, thanks, Dylan. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
So now he answered.